Section 1, Sutra 26. Sa purvesam api guru kalenana vechadat. He of the ancients, of those who came before or first, even teacher by time, on account of not being limited or conditioned. Being unconditioned by time, he is teacher even of the ancients. So I guess they're referring to Ishvara, we'll find out. We have seen in the previous sutra that the knowledge which the Īśvara of a Brahmanda carries in his consciousness sets a limit which no one can cross. Not only in knowledge, but also in other respects, such as power. He must be the highest expression in that solar system, and all lesser entities, such as the Manus, Buddhas, and Devatas, however high their status, must derive their power from him. That is why he is called Ishvara, the Supreme Lord or Ruler. A solar system, though insignificant as compared with the cosmos, is still a gigantic phenomenon in time and space. Many planets are born in it, live their life, and then disappear, providing, during a certain period of their existence, a field for the evolution of the innumerable jivatmas who are part of the solar system. During all this stupendous period extending over billions of years, who guides the different humanities and races which appear and then disappear on the habitable planets, who inspires and gives knowledge to those who become the teachers and leaders of mankind from time to time. Only Ishvara can fill this role because he alone survives and continues through all these stupendous changes. The word guru means both the teacher as well as the master. But here, since we are dealing with a treatise on yoga, the emphasis is obviously on the former meaning. This means that he is the supreme teacher who not only gives knowledge to the highest teachers, but is also the real teacher behind all the teachers who are trying to spread the light of knowledge and divine wisdom in the world. Scientists and other seekers after knowledge may vainly think that they are resting, W-R-E-S-T-I-N-G, resting. Is that another way to say attaining? I'm not familiar with that word. Wresting the secrets of nature and enlarging the boundaries of human knowledge by their own ingenuity and indomitable will. But this attitude is utterly wrong, born of egotism and illusion, which generally characterize purely intellectual pursuits. It is the pressure of divine knowledge and will behind the evolutionary progress of humanity, which is naturally enlarging the boundaries of human knowledge, and individuals merely become the instruments of the Supreme Guru in whom all knowledge resides. Anyone who has watched with an open mind and a reverent heart the phenomenal progress of science in modern times and the remarkable manner in which discoveries have been made, one after another, can see the guiding and unseen hand and intelligence behind these discoveries. It is a great pity that this spirit of reverence is lacking in modern science, and puny man, the creature of a day, has taken all the credit for the rapid and phenomenal expansion of knowledge which has taken place during these recent times. It is the lack of reverence, the product of blatant materialism, which is at the bottom of the wrong direction which science is gradually taking, making knowledge more and more the instrument of destruction and unhappiness, rather than that of ordered progress and true happiness. If this tendency is allowed to grow unchecked, the mighty edifice of science is bound to crash one day in a cataclysm which will destroy the fruits of knowledge garnered through centuries. Where there is no humility and reverence in the pursuit of knowledge, it bodes ill for those who are engaged in its pursuit. However it may be in the field of science, in the field of divine wisdom, Īśvara is not only considered to be the fount of all knowledge and wisdom, but the real and the only teacher existing in the world. All great spiritual teachers have been considered to be the embodiments of the great Guru and have taught in his name and through his power. The light on the path is the light of his knowledge. The voice of silence is his voice. This is a truth which all aspirants treading the path of yoga must burn into their hearts. Sutra 27. Tasya vachaka Pranava. Tasya vachaka Pranava. That's a nice one to chant. His of Ishvara, designator, indicator, Om, pronounced Om, A-U-M, is a humming sound. His designator is Om. Having given, in the previous 3 sutras, some necessary information about Ishvara, the author points out in the next 3 sutras a definite method of establishing direct contact with him. Before dealing with these 3 sutras, it is necessary to give very briefly some idea with regard to the theory of mantra yoga. For without at least a general idea of this branch of yoga, it is not possible to understand adequately the significance of these sutras. Mantra yoga is that branch of yoga which seeks to bring about changes in matter and consciousness by the agency of sound. The word sound being used not in its modern scientific sense, but in a special sense, as we shall see just now. I think he means vibration, right? According to the doctrine upon which mantra yoga is based, the primary manifestation of the ultimate reality takes place through the agency of a particular, peculiar, and subtle vibration, which is called shabda, and which means sound or word. The world is not only created, but maintained by this shabda, which differentiates into innumerable forms of vibration which underlie the phenomenal world. It is necessary first to understand how all the phenomena of nature can be ultimately based on vibration or peculiar expressions of energy. First, let us take the material side of these phenomena. Physical matter has been found by science to consist of atoms and molecules, which in their turn are the result of different combinations of still smaller particles like electrons, etc. Science has not been able as yet to get a clear picture with regard to the ultimate constitution of physical matter, but it has been shown definitely and conclusively that matter and energy are interconvertible. The theory of relativity has shown that mass and energy are not 2 different entities, but are one and the same. The relation between the 2 being given by the well-known equation of Einstein, E equals C2. Not only is matter an expression of energy, but the perception of material phenomenon depends upon vibrations of various kinds. Oh, this is a long one. Vibrations of different kinds, striking the organs of sensation, produce the 5 kinds of sensations, and the familiar world of light, sound, etc. is thus based on vibration. Modern psychology has not been able to investigate or understand the nature of mental phenomenon, but the study of these phenomena by occult methods has shown definitely that their perception is dependent on vibrations in mediums subtler than the physical. There are some phenomena known to modern psychologists, such as thought transference, which lend support to this view. It will be seen, therefore, that there is nothing inherently absurd in the doctrine that the foundation of the whole manifested world, existing on many planes and consisting of innumerable phenomenon, is a tremendously complex and vast aggregate of vibrations of various kinds and degrees. These vibrations or expressions of energy not only constitute the material of the manifested world, using the word material in its widest sense, but by their actions and interactions produce all the phenomenon of the different planes. This conclusion, though startling, is nothing as compared with the still more mysterious doctrine of occult science, according to which all these infinitely complex vibrations of innumerable variety are the expressions of a single vibration, and this single vibration is produced by the will of the mighty being, who is the presiding deity of the particular manifested world, whether this world be a solar system, universe, or the cosmos. This tremendous primary and integrated vibration, from which are derived all the vibrations in manifestation, is called Shabda Brahman. In other words, the ultimate reality, in its aspect of sound, the word sound being used in the most comprehensive and rather mysterious sense, as pointed out before. This doctrine, put in simple and general terms, means that the ultimate reality, carrying within itself the samskaras of previous manifestations, differentiates on manifestation into two primary and complementary expressions. One, a composite integrated vibration called Shabda Brahman, and the other, an underlying integrated consciousness called Brahma Chaitanya, the reality in its aspect of consciousness. Okay. These two expressions are complementary and mutually dependent, since they are the dual expressions of the one reality and appear or disappear simultaneously. Ooh, this is a really long one, so we've got 3 more pages. No, okay. From this primary relationship of vibration and consciousness, existing on the highest level of manifestation, flows the relation of these two on all the planes of manifestation down to the physical. So that we find that wherever there is manifestation of consciousness, there is vibration associated with it, whether we are able to trace it or not. Not only are vibration and consciousness so intimately and indissolubly connected, but there is a specific relationship existing between each kind of vibration and the particular aspect of consciousness which it can give expression to, so that each kind of vibration is matched, as it were, by a corresponding state of consciousness. There's a lot I could say about this, but I'm going to keep reading for now. This relation may be understood to a certain extent by considering its expression on the lowest level, namely sensuous perception. Each particular vibration of light with a definite wavelength produces its corresponding color perception in consciousness. Each particular vibration of sound produces perception of the corresponding note in consciousness. Although science has not yet been able to investigate the hidden mechanism of other kinds of sensations, it will probably be found, when such investigations have been made successfully, that each sensation of taste, smell, and touch is matched by a corresponding vibration of some kind. There has actually, so this was written a long time ago, so there has actually been a lot of scientific work done on that kind of stuff. But all right. What is true on the lowest level is true on all levels of manifestation, and therefore there is nothing inherently unreasonable in supposing that consciousness can be influenced or reached by means of vibration, or to put it in other words, particular states of consciousness can be brought about by initiating particular kinds of vibrations. So we do all this binaural beat meditation stuff, right? That's producing a certain kind of vibration in your mind, which is changing your brainwave state, right? Not only can consciousness be affected by vibration, but consciousness, by initiating particular vibrations, can also influence matter and bring about changes in matter. So, right? The broad and general principles pointed out above form the basis of mantra shastra. the science of using mantras for bringing about certain tangible results, and also of mantra yoga, the science of unification or unfoldment of consciousness by the help of mantras, because mantras are sounds vibration, right? Because it changes the vibration of your body when you chant mantras, and it changes the vibration of the surrounding area, right? The essential idea underlying both is that by producing a particular kind of vibration through a vehicle, it is possible to draw down a particular kind of force through the vehicle or to produce a particular state of consciousness in the vehicle. Such vibrations can be produced by means of mantras, each of which represents a particular combination of sounds for bringing about certain specific results. Since a mantra is a composite thing, a particular combination of sounds arranged in a particular way, it is interesting to inquire what are the basic sounds which are utilized in these combinations. Without going into the details of this question, it may be simply stated that the letters of the Sanskrit alphabet are the elements from which all mantras of Sanskrit origin are derived. Each letter is supposed to be the vehicle of a basic eternal power. That is why it is called aksara. And when introduced into a mantra, contributes its specific influence on the total effect, which is the objective of the mantra, much in the same way as the different chemical elements contribute their specific properties to the compounds which are derived from them. There are 52 letters of the Sanskrit alphabet, and therefore there are 52 basic elemental powers which are available for producing all kinds of effects through the agency of mantras in their different permutations and combinations. Isn't this fascinating? Oh my God. It does not mean, of course, that the Sanskrit alphabet has some favored place in the scheme of nature and the sounds produced by its letters alone can be utilized in constructing mantras. All this meant is that the effect of sounds produced by letters in the Sanskrit alphabet have been investigated and evaluated and can thus be used in the construction of mantras. With this brief introduction, let us now consider the important sutra under discussion. This sutra, which is, his designator is Om. Tasya Vachaka Pranava. In Sutra 26, are we actually, we're on 27, right? So 26, being unconditioned by time, he is teacher even of the ancients. Okay, in Sutra 26, it was pointed out that Īśvara is the true teacher of all and the source of the inner light by the help of which the yogi treads the path of liberation. How is that inner light to be revealed, to be uncovered, so that he may have an unerring and ever-present guide within himself? This light appears when the mind becomes sufficiently purified by the practice of yoga, as indicated in Sutra 28, which is the next one, which I think I'm running out of time. So I'll read that next time. But there are certain initial difficulties which must be overcome before the practice of yoga can begin in right earnest. These difficulties are related to the general condition of the mind, which in the case of the large majority of aspirants is not at all favorable for the practice of yoga, right? Monkey mind. It is subject to constant and sometimes violent distractions, which make it impossible for the aspirant to adopt a life of discipline and to dive within the recesses of his consciousness. How are these distractions to be overcome and the mind steadied sufficiently so that it may become possible for the aspirant to be firmly established on the path of yoga? The next and the subsequent sutras deal with this important problem. Right, so this is your answer. Like, how do you stop being distracted by social media, right? Or the news, or people in your life, situations, circumstances in your life, and then what's going on in your mind all the time. Great. So this is starting to be where the rubber meets the road, right? You're going to start getting some really, really practical information here about how to move forward and how to accomplish this. The first and the most effective means, which Patanjali prescribed for overcoming this distracted condition of the mind, is the japa of Pranava and meditation on its meaning. He calls Pranava as the Vachaka of Ishvara. What is Vachaka? The literal meaning of Vachaka is name or designator, but in mantra yoga, it has a specialized meaning and is used for a name which is essentially of the nature of a mantra and has the power, when used in a prescribed manner, of revealing the consciousness and releasing the power of a devata or divine being. Being a sound combination, which is used to designate a particular entity, it is like a name, but an ordinary name is chosen arbitrarily to indicate somebody, and it has no natural or mystic relationship with the person. A Vachaka, on the other hand, is a name which has a mystic relationship with the Vacha, the entity designated, and has inherent in it the power of revealing the consciousness and releasing the power of the individual for whom it stands. Such a Vachaka is Om. It is considered to be the most mystical, sacred, and powerful mantra by the Hindus because it is the Vachaka of Īśvara, the greatest power and the supreme consciousness as far as our solar system is concerned. It may seem preposterous to the ordinary man not familiar with the inner side of life that a mere syllable of 3 letters can carry hidden within it the potential power which is attributed to it by all yogis, and references to which are found scattered throughout the sacred scriptures of the Hindus. But facts are facts, and they are not at all affected by the ignorance and prejudices of people who disbelieve in them. I say that to people all the time. You don't have to believe in it. Like, it doesn't depend upon your belief in it, right? Who could have believed 50 years ago that a mere neutron moving among a number of uranium atoms could produce an explosion powerful enough to blow up a whole city? Anyone who understands the theory of mantra yoga and the relation of vibration with consciousness should be able to see that there is nothing inherently impossible in the idea of a mystic syllable possessing such a power. Besides, we should remember that the facts of the inner life with which yoga deals are based upon experience no less than the facts of science, though it may not be possible or desirable to demonstrate them. All right, so that's the end of that one. Really interesting, isn't it? Okay, the next sutra, which I'm not going to read today, I'll just read it briefly. 28. Tajapas Tadartha Bhavanam. Its constant repetition and meditation on its meaning. Okay. Its constant repetition of its meaning, dwelling upon it in mind, realizing meditation. That's 28. We'll do that one next time. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time. Bye.